Welcome to Universe, the science fiction role-playing game tutorial series. This tutorial will show you how to use the performance table. The performance table is used frequently while playing Universe. It is used for attribute checks, ability trials, and aptitude tests. For convenience, the performance table is included in the centerfold of the character profile. The performance table is used with percentile dice. Before we begin the tutorials, let's look at the structure of the performance table. The upper left area of the table is the success region. If a roll lands in this region, it will give a value from 100% successful down to 10% successful. The upper right area of the table is the failure region. If the roll skips into this region, it will give a marginal, total, or critical failure result. The lower left area of the table is the percentage region. It is used to reduce a maximum value to a percentage value. Let's look at the examples. Attribute checks. An attribute check is the easiest roll to make on the performance table. Attributes include strength, stamina, dexterity, reflexes, and so forth. When a character attempts a feat, the Overlord may call for an attribute check. Melee grapple. Your character's name is Jenner. A drunk in a bar decides he doesn't like Jenner's face. He grabs Jenner's arm and attempts to pull him to the ground. The drunk succeeds in his melee attack. The Overlord asks you to make a strength check for Jenner. Referring to Jenner's character profile, Jenner has a strength of 45. We follow the range column of the performance table until we come to row 41 to 45. We roll the dice and get a 92. We follow the performance across until we get to the column that includes 92, which is 90 to 100. We can see that this is a critical failure. Jenner falls to the ground and must defend himself from the drunk's kicking while he tries to recover. Encounters with non-player characters. Jenner and his friends are trying to locate the manufacturer of cockroach-sized robots that are being used to smuggle concentrated drugs through ventilation ducts at a customs checkpoint. Jenner puts on a business suit and poses as an executive from Modern Household. He sets up a meeting with a design engineer at Residential Robots Incorporated to discuss developing a miniature robot for cleaning behind major appliances. He secretly wants to know if Residential Robotics has the capabilities to make the robotic smugglers. On a 50-50 random roll, the Overlord determines the design engineer is male. The Overlord asks for an encounter check from Jenner and tells him to apply a +2 modifier for his dress and appearance. An encounter check is rolled against comeliness for members of the opposite sex and against charisma for members of the same sex. Checking Jenner's character profile, he has a charisma of 65. We follow the range column of the performance table to the 61 to 65 row. The Overlord gave Jenner a +2 modifier, so our chances improve by 2 rows to the 71 to 75 row. Now we roll and get a 14. We follow the roll across to 9 to 15, a 90% success. The design engineer at Residential Robotics is very cordial with Jenner. He even gives him a tour of the manufacturing floor, where Jenner spots a chassis from one of the smuggler robots. Ability trials. Next, we examine an ability trial. Abilities include might, regeneration, deduction, psychic, and many others. Except for psychic, abilities are not available to characters in the Universe Primer. Athletic vaulting. The athletic ability allows a character to vault from prone to standing. A vault is done in one action point, where moving from prone to kneeling, then kneeling to standing, takes 2 action points. Jenner was knocked down again while canvassing another bar. We announce to the Overlord that Jenner will attempt to vault from prone to standing using his athletic ability. The Overlord asks us to make an ability trial for the action. The athletic ability is based on the physique attribute, therefore we simply make a physique attribute check. Jenner's physique is 60, so we follow the range column on the performance table down to 56 to 60. We roll and get a 48. We follow the row across to 43 to 48 and see that we have a 30% success. Jenner's off the ground and back in the fight. Aptitude tests. Finally, we look at aptitude tests. The performance table is used for aptitude tests more than anything else. Aptitudes are the skills a character learns, and an aptitude test is performed any time a character uses their skills. Vehicle modification. Jenner is going to use the Vehicle Repair and Modify aptitude to add a mini cannon and turret to his team's Varner all-terrain carriage. Jenner wants to make the turret swivel a full 360 degrees along with the ammo feeder to prevent tangling. The Overlord rules that this will be a hard task. Jenner is level 4 in his Vehicle Repair and Modify aptitude. This aptitude does not have a modifier, and Jenner does not have a cognitive aptitude modifier. Because the Overlord rules this task is hard, it has a -2 modifier and a 200% time modifier. To modify a vehicle according to the aptitude description, it requires 10 hours of work. Being a hard task, this is increased to 200%, which is 20 hours. These hours don't need to be worked consecutively. Jenner works the hours, and then we roll the dice. Jenner is level 4 in this aptitude, and he has a -2 modifier for the difficulty of the task. This leaves him with a +2. We follow the skill column on the performance table to the +2 roll, and we roll. With a 42, Jenner is 20% successful. Combat. Now let's look at a combat example. Any attack with a weapon or even the open hand is an aptitude test. Jenner is being charged by an angry bull. Jenner is going to shoot it. Jenner takes a careful aim, which requires 4 action points, and then he fires. The weapon is an SA pistol. It has a weapon modifier of -1, a range category of B, and a maximum damage of 28 points. The bull is a large target. It is 35 meters away and is closing at 8 meters per second. Jenner is level 5 in his Tactical Projectile Weapons aptitude. Now, let's apply modifiers. Jenner has an aim modifier of +1 from his high dexterity. The weapon, as I mentioned, has a -1 modifier. Because Jenner made a careful aim, he gets a +2 modifier. The bull is 35 meters away, and the SA pistol is range category B. This is a medium range, which has a -1 modifier. The target is moving at moderate speed, but it is moving directly toward him, so there is no modifier for target motion. The bull is a large target, which gives him a +1 modifier. Jenner is level 5, and the modifiers total to +2. Therefore, he follows the skill column of the performance table to the +7 row and rolls. He rolls a 56. On the +7 row, this is a 30% success. Now we look at damage. On the lower left portion of the performance table, we cross-reference maximum damage to the % success. The weapon's maximum is 28 points, and attack was a 30% success. First, we follow the 20 row across to the 30% column to get 6 points. We then follow the 8 row across to the 30% column to get 2 points. We add the 6 and 2 together to get 8 points of damage. In this way, we determine that 30% of 28 points maximum damage is 8 points of damage. The bullet tears into the bull's left hind leg. The bull hardly notices and continues his charge. At 8 meters per second, the bull will close the distance and gore Jenner in less than 5 seconds. Is Jenner going to keep shooting, or are you going to have him run? Conclusion. This is the end of the tutorial. As you can see, the performance table is an integral part of Universe. It is used to determine a character's level of success or failure in most of the actions they perform. If you have further questions regarding the performance table, read about it in the Action chapter of the Universe Primer or in Appendix C of the Universe Master Rulebook. Thank you for playing Universe, the science fiction role-playing game.